It's cold. Japan is so cold. I feel like it's so nice. The summers are so great. It's hot, blazing hot. You're sweating. You almost feel like you're gonna have a heat stroke all the time. I love that. I love the heat. That's something that I can really enjoy. Something that uh, I love. But something that I don't love is the cold. And I feel like somebody just flipped a switch. Like they just turned off the heat because all of a sudden it went from nice weather to freezing cold. And my toes are frozen, my fingers are frozen. I'm wearing a jacket. I haven't worn a jacket since last winter. To be fair, this is a thinner jacket, but it just started to be cold. And oh, and then I've got on these little shoe slippers plus some thermal socks. It was just warm yesterday, but again, it just feels like it just turned cold all of a sudden. I don't think anybody ever talks about how cold Japan actually gets. And one thing about Japan is their heating isn't great. So there's an air conditioner in the other room, and it's about this big, and that's supposed to heat your entire house, or in the summer, cool your house down. Um, it's not that effective, and we really don't like to use it because it uses electricity. So we're not turning it on yet because we don't want to waste money. But as the winter starts to really happen, we're going to have to turn it on. Right now, it's actually 60 degrees Fahrenheit or 16 degrees Celsius, which doesn't sound like it's that cold, but it's cloudy, it's cold. And I don't know if it's just something with my body. Chica also has this problem. She's very cold. I don't know if it's something with my body where my body doesn't know how to self regulate and keep track of how cold it is and kind of warm itself up. I feel like when I was younger, this wasn't a problem. Like I remember skateboarding out with all my friends back in Indiana when it was freezing cold outside. There was snow falling and we'd take our shirt off and it was no problem. Maybe that's because we were active. We were actively skateboarding and that kind of like heats your body up. But as of right now, as an adult, as somebody who's fully grown now, I am cold and I get cold so easy. And there's one thing that I hate more than anything, and that is the cold. And I've put myself in a position where it, it I'm in a climate where it's cold, and I just have to accept that. I have to live with that. Could I turn the heater on and kind of warm the house up? Yeah, but again, it's a little too early for that. Tomorrow it looks like it's going to be 64, and then Thursday it's going to be 70, Friday 70, and we get back into 70s on Sunday, 75 and rainy. That's an interesting thing. That should feel amazing on Sunday. But right now, again, yesterday I was outside walking. I walked up to the local sukiya, which if you don't know what that is, it's a little restaurant where you can buy your chicken and your rice and your curry. Really delicious place. But I walked up there yesterday. That was great. That was amazing. That was nice. Weather felt so good. But then today, I wake up freezing. Ooh. And I was in Japan last winter. It's not good. It's not good for me. My fingers were freezing. Like literally, I thought I was going to get frostbite. I survived it last winter. I'm going to survive it again this winter, but I just wanted to quickly come on here and tell you guys Japan's cold. Japan's very cold. And we're not even like super far north in Tokyo. We're down here in Kyoto. So if I'm getting it down here, I can only imagine how Tokyo's feeling right now. But there's also something that you have to know. Japan's really long, right? So it goes from north to south, and down at the bottom of Japan there's some islands that get pretty far south. There's a place called Okinawa. And Okinawa is a lot like Hawaii, like all year round. In fact, we could actually All year round, the weather's really nice. Right now, it's 77 degrees Fahrenheit. If you need to know what that is in Celsius, it's 25 degrees Celsius. So there are places in Japan where the weather is great all year round, like Hawaii style weather. It's not quite Hawaii. I like to call it Japan's version of Hawaii. But there are places that are nice and the weather's warm. The rest of Japan, however, for the most part, especially when you go really far north up towards like Hokkaido, Sapporo, but Japan can get very cold, very freezing, and I don't like it. I don't know how to fix it. Last year, I had a weird thing happen to me where I was very cold all winter, and then I did a strange thing, and I think it kind of fixed the problem, at least a little bit. Maybe it helped my body kind of self-regulate. But I was in a hot spring, right? Middle of winter in a hot spring, and a lot of these hot springs have little cold plunges, basically freezing water you can jump in. And I don't know what spirit of the Hoffman came out. That's his name, right? What's his name? The Iceman, Hoffman. The Iceman, the spirit of the Iceman came out, and it said, "Get in the hot spring, heat your body up, and go jump in the ice cold water." And that's what I did. That's what I did. I sat in the hot spring for like 20 minutes, and after that 20 minutes, I stood up and I ran into that freezing cold ice bath. But I only got one foot in, and then I backed out because it was really cold, even though I just heated my entire body up. But I wasn't going to give up, so I got back in the hot spring, waited another 20 minutes, and I said, you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to go jump in the freezing cold ice bath. And I did this time. I actually jumped in. I ran as fast as I could. No fear in my mind. Jump in. Boom. I stayed in there for maybe 20, 30 seconds, and then I got out because it was cold. It was cold. But from that point forward, my body started to self-regulate a little better. Like outside, when I was walking around Kyoto, I remember, it's not as bad. It's not great, but it's not as bad. So I don't know where I'm going with this story. I don't know what I'm trying to tell you, but Japan can be cold, and just be warned if you're coming here, especially on vacation. Maybe don't come when it's freezing, unless you like that kind of thing. If you're into that kind of thing, then go ahead. Also, the summers are really hot, so there's kind of a time in between winter and summer that you can come here and have a good time. I'm going to stop rambling now. Goodbye.